In our experiment, we will be testing how much casein, or plastic, will be produced in 1%, 2% in almond milk when heated and white vinegar is added.
Our hypothesis is that the more protein the milk contains, the more casein will be produced. Now we're going to do our first trial with 2% milk. We already have 1 cup of 2% milk measured out, so the first step is to pour it into a pan on top of the stove. Turn the stove on to medium heat. Now we will let this heat up until white vinegar is ready to be added. Now that the milk is heated but not boiling, we will add 4 teaspoons of white vinegar to the heated milk. Now we will stir the mixture and watch the chemical reaction occur between the heated milk and the white vinegar.
It happens right away.
Now that the chemical reaction has totally occurred, we will measure out how much casein was produced with the 2% milk. Pour the mixture through the strainer, and the leftover solution will be left in the bowl, and the casein will be caught in the strainer. The remaining solution is casein, and it is in the strainer, and the rest of the solution is in the bowl. We will not be using this, but we will now measure the casein we'll pour it into a measuring cup.
Now obviously we will not be able to measure all of it, as some of it is caught in the strainer. And here's how much casein was produced. We'll perform the same procedure but with 1 cup of 1% milk. First we will pour it into the pan, and then we will turn the stove onto medium and heat until white vinegar is needed. Now that the milk is heated but not boiling, we will add 4 teaspoons of white vinegar. Now watch the chemical reaction occur. It should occur instantly like last time.
And it does. And it smells really bad.
Both 1% and 2% milk contain 8 grams of protein, so we believe that they should have about the same amount of casein. Now we will put the casein into a measuring cup and we'll see how much there is. Alright, there's about this much. We'll get back to you on the measurements in a little bit.
We will be doing the same procedure except with 1 cup of almond milk. First, pour the cup of almond milk into the pan. Now turn the stove on to medium heat. And we're just going to let that sit for a little bit until white vinegar needs to be added.
The almond milk is heated but not boiling. We will add 4 teaspoons of white vinegar. Since almond milk only contains 1 gram of protein, we believe that it should have the least amount of casein produced out of the 3. Now watch the chemical reaction occur. This one might take a little more time.
As you can see, it's not having the exact same chemical reaction as the last 2 milks.
This one will not be able to be measured through the strainer because everything will just go through the holes. We'll try and pour it through though and see if any gets caught.
It looks like almond milk doesn't produce any casein.
Since everything went through the strainer, we will not be able to measure any of the casein for the almond milk.
Therefore, casein is not produced in almond milk. It is only produced in 1% and 2% milk.
The mixture of 2% milk is very soft and it feels like cottage cheese, whereas 1% milk feels rubbery and a lot harder. Almond milk is very liquidy because there wasn't enough casein produced to be able to hold it in our hands. To conclude, we believe that 2% milk had the most amount of casein because it had 8 grams of protein and 4.5 grams of fat, whereas 1% milk had 8 grams of protein and 2.5 grams of fat. And almond milk only had 1 gram of protein, so we knew that it wouldn't produce a lot, but we didn't really know it would produce this little.